Ooni of Ife's wives are said to be in agony over the fact that their husband, Ooni of Ife, changed the ownership of that Lekki mansion to Queen Naomi. This Lekki mansion, I don't know what to say, but it's better that the king do what he has to do, because it's beginning to sound as if the women think that there is nothing the king can do about their troubles and all of that. Before now, that Lekki mansion have been there. You hardly hear that any of the Olories go there to spend the time, or maybe they went to an occasion and went there to pass the night and all of that. Not until Queen Naomi agrees to come to that place to stay. After so much pleadings, because Ooni of Ife involved a lot of people who helped him to beg Queen Naomi to please go to that Lekki mansion so that the king will have full time with her anytime he comes to Lagos, rather than going to her mansion in Lekki. Because before Queen Naomi moved into that mansion, they said normally if the king goes to meet with Prince Tadenikawo, he will spend time with them in Queen Naomi's mansion in Lekki. Queen Naomi have her own mansion she bought with her money in Lekki. This one is not the king that bought it for her. Because if you remember, when she bought the king the house, the king did not believe that she could afford such an amount of money. And he made so much trouble out of it, because he believed that a certain guy bought it for her. But later, he discovered that she bought it on her own. So that was when the trouble stopped. So when the king was able to convince Queen Naomi to move to that Lekki mansion, Queen Naomi moved in there. The reason why Ooni changed the ownership of that Lekki mansion to Queen Naomi's name is what we are here to talk about. Okay. After Queen Naomi moves inside that house, the wife started going there every now and then. And on each occasion, they will not be allowed inside. It's beginning to sound as if the king is maltreating them or something like that. As a matter of fact, there was a time they said they caught a particular man, a juju man, throwing charms into that place, And this house happens to be Ooni of Ife's house. And by virtue of being married to the king, the wives have access to that house, And they keep going. Even when they go, the security guard will not open for them. They will still go in. They still, as a matter of fact, got to a point that they only have to make a list of people who are allowed and who are not allowed into that mansion. And that list caused a lot of problems. Why it caused problem was because Temitope's name was not included. Reason because there was a transaction that the king did that Temitope was aware of it, and Dr. Elizabeth. And that information got to Ashley. And they believe it's because Ashley's cousin is working for Temitope. That was why she was able to get hold of that information to release it to Ashley. That was why they said Temitope was not among the people that should be allowed to go into that mansion. But Temitope clarified herself. As a matter of fact, she fired that Ashley's cousin just to be in a safer side in the good book of the king. Then after so much pleading and crying, because they said she cried, that she doesn't know that that is how the king sees her and all of that, they said Queen Naomi now allowed Temitope to come to the Lekki mansion and visit her. You can imagine that. Then a lot of people believe that at this point, Queen Naomi is matured more than what she used to be before. And maybe she's tired of having problems with these women. She wants to get to know them better, but that doesn't mean that she wants to build a relationship with them and all of that. So she allowed Temitope in. Shortly after that one, Olori Tobi carried her aunt and her driver and went there, to go and enter that Lekki mansion. But it was unfortunate for her that she wasn't allowed inside. She stayed inside for close to 6 to 7 hours. Yes, yet they did not open for her. And when Diola find out that Queen Naomi allowed Temitope inside that Lekki mansion, Diola was so mad at Queen Naomi, because Diola knows that these people does not like Queen Naomi one bit. Not even one of them. So she warned Queen Naomi to be very careful with the wives, that they don't like her. And the earlier she realized that, the better for her. Then after that, The king's father, Ooni of Ife, got to know about it, and was not happy with it, such that they said she called Queen Naomi to tell her that, look, oh, you are beginning to build a good relationship with these women. If you want things the way they are right now, the best thing you will do is to carry your son and your load and come back to the palace. But if not, then you should stop associating with them until they are able to achieve what they are planning. And their plan is to ensure that these women leave the palace so that Queen Naomi will return. Then Queen Naomi was kind of, how is she going to stop a wife from entering into her husband's property? That this house belongs to Ooni of Ife. And by virtue of marriage, that these wives have a right to enter there. While she was in her own house in Lekki, none of them will come. Even if they come, she will tell them that you are not allowed to come in. But if she starts fighting them in their husband's house, it becomes another big problem for her and all of that. So while she was complaining, she even made mention of her going back to her own Lekki mansion so that these women can have access to their husband's property without her interfering. So while she mentioned that, that was when they said Ooni of Ife told her that, look, oh, at this point, that house belongs to you, and you have every right to tell this person you are not allowed to come in, you are allowed to come in. And she said no, it's not her house, that it is Ooni of Ife's house, and Ooni of Ife's wives have the right to enter the palace, to enter there. She don't want a situation whereby she will be the one stopping them, and they will start carrying her name everywhere that she's this, she's that. So that was how they said, Ooni said is okay, that the best thing to do right now is to change the ownership of that house to Queen Naomi's name. That is how, they said he did not even waste time. He changed it immediately. He changed the ownership of that Lekki mansion to Queen Naomi's name. And that was what he did. And he came back to the palace and announced it to the whole wives that this house now belongs to Queen Naomi with the papers. They said he showed them the papers and they were all in tears. They were devastated. As in, why would it be Queen Naomi? Is Queen Naomi the only wife of the king? As a matter of fact, we heard, allegedly, that it is Queen Naomi's name that is on paper as the wife of Ooni of Ife. All of these other wives, their name is not in the paper. And again, what we are hearing is that Queen Naomi is the only person that have diplomatic passports, and we do know that the king have the right to give all of these women that diplomatic passport, but he did not. It only goes to Queen Naomi. That is to tell you that these women should know that it's a game, and Queen Naomi and the Ooni of Ife is winning. Even though they are the ones in the palace, it's Queen Naomi that is inheriting everything. Anyway, guys, don't forget that they are all alleged information, okay? What do you think about this? Whatever you think, please share with us on the comment section. I'm going to bring you more gist. I love you. Bye.